What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. I'm your host, Charles Filson. Solid win for my Washington Commanders. Got the win over the New England Patriots, the 20-17 win. A low-scoring game, lower than what we should have put on the board, but you're facing a solid New England defense. Sam Howell had his woes, had his mistakes, but played solid for the most part, and just a solid win. Hopefully, we can keep it going. But before I dive into this game, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow on the Fourth and Goal Sports Instagram page. But without further ado, let's dive into it. So, right off the bat, we start the game slow. We get a 3-and-out. Jahan drops the pass. And, then we get to see the first look of the defense. We hear it all week because of the trades concerning Montez and Chase. How's the D-line going to look? How's the defense going to look? And to be honest, the defense played pretty solid today. There are concerns concerning, tight ends. That's a continuous struggle when it comes to Jack Del Rio's defense. Our defense is not good against tight ends, and we weren't good today versus Hunter Henry, one of the league's premier tight ends. As expected, to be honest, we weren't good. Just the defense, I don't know if it's scheme-wise. I don't know if it's the players, the coaching. Our team just never does well against tight ends. It also doesn't do well against mobile quarterbacks. So that's something that our defense has to work on. It's something that Jack Del Rio has to start scheming better for if we're going to be able to make a playoff run, because we definitely have a chance. Believe it or not, we have a chance. We're in the thick of things. We're not out, and this team's going to have to keep pushing. And one thing as well, I don't want to hear any excuses. Yeah, we lost Chase. We traded him. Yeah, we lost Montez. We traded him. But the D-line has to play better. The way they played today just was unacceptable. There's nothing special about that New England offensive line. There's nothing special about it. From the interior defensive line to our DNs, whole D-line needs to play better. It was unacceptable. There's no reason why they ran the ball down our throats the way they did. There's no reason why we couldn't get to Mac Jones. And then the one play we did get to Mac Jones, they called that a, roughing the passer. It was not a roughing the passer. That was just unacceptable. Horrible call. The refs were horrible this entire game. I'm not one of those fans that cries about refs all the time. The fans who be like, blame the ref every time their team loses. I'm not one of those fans, but it was just bad. It was just bad. It was just horrible. But going to a positive note concerning the offense, the offensive line played pretty solid. I love the rotation that we're having now. You got Chris Paul in the lineup. You got Larson. Keep it that way. Keep it that way, because those other guys who were starting before, they just didn't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They've lost a spot. We have something going well now these past few games. We didn't win the Eagles game, but for the most part, our O-line did well. They did well versus New England, a solid defense. You have to keep it going. Keep Larson and Chris Paul where they are, because it's keeping Sam Howell clean. It's keeping them solid. Look at how well Sam plays when he has a solid offensive line that is showing up for him. Look at that. It's undeniable. 325 passing yards today, one touchdown, one interception, and, that run, what was it, 3rd and 24? I believe it was 3rd and 24. All receivers covered. We're locked up. Sam Howell takes off, runs for the first down. I haven't seen a quarterback like that. I haven't seen a quarterback where it's 3rd and 24, and most offenses would just run it, just be like, we've lost this down, just get it out of the way, punt it away. You've seen OCs give up like that. You've seen quarterbacks give up like that. Not Sam Howell. The effort on this guy is like something we haven't seen in Washington in a long time. We just haven't. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Sam Howell has star potential. Like something we haven't seen in Washington in so long. And to put that into perspective, what I mean to say is this: when you measure his success capability, his talent capability to Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, it exceeds it. And when you measure it to RG3, I feel like he's slightly behind that. I feel like he's right behind that on the talent level. On the talent level. And in no way I'm trying to compare, but in this sense I'm trying to say Sam Howell has great potential. Sam Howell has the potential to be this franchise quarterback. He has the potential to be the franchise quarterback that Washington has been looking for so long. Outside of the interception in this game, which was terrible, which was unnecessary, which was, just it was horrible. No other way to put it. Outside of that, he played solid. Another 300-yard passing game. He's been balling out. In the last 5 games, Sam Howell is leading the NFL in passing yards. What can I say? Credit is in order. Credit is due. Give this man his flowers. He's balling out. You love to see it. Another player you got to give your flowers to, Brian Robinson. He balled out in this game. Touchdown to set the tone from the start. One thing he had to work on in this game was the mistake of the fumble, And to be honest, when it goes to that Patriots defense, they didn't have their best players out there today, but it didn't matter. They balled out. Respect to them. They won the turnover game. They won the rushing game. And if you keep up with my recap videos when it comes to game recaps, those are key keys to victory. Those are key keys to victory. You want to win a game, win the rushing battle, get turnovers. That's their defense got turnovers. They won the rushing battle, but somehow they didn't win. And that's been the story for New England season. They're just not a good football team. And to be honest, the Commanders aren't either. But if you want to balance that out, we're the better football team. We're the better football team. And I don't think that's so much on the shoulders of how people like to say, Bill Belichick isn't, who he used to be because he doesn't have Brady anymore. I think a lot of that is look at his roster. Look at his roster. There's not much talent on that roster. You have for a lack of better words, a washed Ezekiel Elliott running back. You have Mac Jones, who I'm not impressed by. He doesn't impress me. He's not the guy. They need to draft someone else. That's just the honest truth. The receiving core isn't special. Who's your best receiver? Juju Smith-Schuster? Who's your best receiver? Kendrick Bourne, who's out for the season now? They don't have much help. They're not a strong team. That's the honest truth. They're not a strong team. And they don't have much talent on this roster. So, yes, it's good that the Commanders won. And, this is a game they should win. This is a game we should have blown the Patriots out, but we knew that wasn't going to happen. We're just not a team that blows teams out. We're not a team that dominates from start to finish. And that's the reason why we're in the hunt. That's the reason why we're not in the wild card. That's the reason why we're not, right in the playoff race. We're gonna have to fight and claw to get there. But I also want to shout out Jartavius Martin for that interception to close the game. Great play. Finally he's making plays. Finally. You draft a second round pick for this guy, he needs to make more plays like that. That's the honest truth. And I'm gonna go back to say what I said before in one of my previous videos. Our previous draft class concerning the Commanders just hasn't shown up. That's the bottom line. They haven't shown up. But that's not all on them. A lot of it is on coaching and not giving certain guys opportunities. But you spend draft picks on guys, they need to be contributors. That's the bottom line. They need to contribute to the team in one way or another. Glad to see that Jartavius Martin was contributing this game. Glad to see Forbes bounce back. Glad to see KJ Henry, make some plays. And that play was not unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. It was a clear sack. The refs should be ashamed of themselves. They took a great play and turned it into a negative. They ruined the play. And plays like that, where it's so blatant that even the commentators see it, why aren't these refs getting fined for stuff like that? I mean, like when other people are bad at their jobs, they face consequences. These refs, they're horrible on a week-end basis. Week after week, they're horrible. They're trash. And still, they're putting them out there, assign them to, the biggest games so they can mess up those games too, But we won despite them. We won despite our errors as far as fumbles, interceptions. Just a solid win. Nothing to, celebrate too much. It's a game we should win, but it's a game you build off of. It's a game you hang your hat on, trying to build off of and bounce back even more versus Seattle, because we're going to need everything to win that game. I know they just got blown out by the Ravens. Embarrassing loss for them. I think it was 37-3, if I'm not mistaken. But guess what? We are a team that's a get-right team. If there was any game that the Seattle could get right, their offense, their defense, it's against us. So the guys are going to have to lock in, and that could be the beginning of the annual Ron Rivera streak, the annual Ron Rivera win streak. November is his month. November is our month. November is the month in which the Commanders find a way to turn it on. They do it every single year. In 2021, we went 3-0 in November. In 2022, we went 3-1. So through the past 2 seasons, we are 6-1 in November. Just amazing. You got to love it. You have to love it. And I hope we can keep that going. I really do. When you look at our upcoming schedule, you got Seattle. That's a beatable team. That's a winnable game. Then you go back home. You're 1 p.m. kickoff versus the Giants. Must win. If you let the Giants sweep you, just complete the season. It's a wrap. But those are 2 must-win games. You want to keep fighting for the playoffs? Those are 2 must-win games. And then after the Giants game, you know what it is. You know what it is at that point. Dallas, can't wait for that one. I cannot wait. But above all else, this team still has a lot to fight for. Despite the Chase Young trade, despite the Montez Sweat trade, this team is still fighting. They're not quitting on the season. You don't hear anyone moping. You don't hear anyone saying, oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? They're still fighting, and I love that. I love that. Next week is going to be a real test because the Seahawks, they have playmakers. This Patriots team, they didn't have playmakers. They were a team that you're supposed to beat. Seattle, it's going to be a bigger test. Defense is going to have to step up. Offense is going to have to step up. And I can't wait to see what Sam Howell's going to do. This is going to be a good test for him. But without further ado, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the 4th and Goal Sports channel. I'm your host, Tyler Filson. This is the 4th and Goal Sports show. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow on the 4th and Goal Sports Instagram page. Without further ado, peace.
Must get to the 30-yard line. Howell, under pressure, fires back the other way, and it's caught for a first down and more. It's Byron Pringle, the former Chief, takes it all the way out to the 49-yard line.
Down here in the red zone, top 10 in opponent's red zone TD percentage.
Second down and 7. Robinson to the end zone, touchdown.
Getting into it.
Third down and 23 following the sack. Howell across midfield. Howell stays on his feet and is close to a Commander's first down. Looks like he picked it up.
I think he got it.
Reset, pumping signal in the plays. Second down and 10. Here's Howell going deep to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Dodson. What a throw, what a a catch.
He likes what they've been doing.
2nd down and 8. Jones over the middle.